Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the United States Navy, we welcome you to the virtual Roblox F-14 Tomcat demonstration. I am Kyle Dukall, narrating for the team, and today we proudly present the mighty F-14 Tomcat, the United States Navy's legendary fleet defender, air superiority fighter, interception, and strike platform that has supported operations in Libya, the Persian Gulf, Afghanistan, and Iraq. Not to mention being the star of the 1986 mega hit film Top Gun. The Tomcat is flown by a crew of two, the pilot and the radar intercept officer, or RIO. The pilot flies the plane, the RIO manages the weapons, radar, and communication systems. Flying the Tomcat is the commanding officer, Carl Van Norman from Cleveland, Ohio, and in the backseat his RIO, Edric Eatmore from Houston, Texas. Together you will see the mighty Tomcat return to center stage with the demonstration of raw power in its purest form. With takeoff checks now complete and the aircraft being cleared for takeoff, watch and listen as the mighty Tomcat roars to life, accelerating down the runway, taking off in less than 1,500 feet near the departure end of the runway. Watch as Van and Eat push 30 tons of airplane into the sky with 60,000 pounds of thrust. Ladies and gentlemen, from the right, your United States Navy's F-14 Tomcat. Reposition, Van and Eat will return to show center from the left and perform a series of turns called the flatting. This maneuver will provide you with an all-aspect view of the Tomcat. Take note of the glow from each engine, indicating that full afterburner has been selected. While in full afterburner, the Tomcat will burn over 2,000 pounds or 300 gallons of fuel per minute, exceeding 7 times the power of the starting lineup of the Daytona 500. From the left, it's the Flat 8. The wings full forward at 20 degrees, aft being 68. At 350 miles per hour, Van will roll the F-14 into a 180-degree angle of bank, override the wing sweep computer, and select full aft wing sweep. Ladies and gentlemen, from the right, the Tomcat knife edge wing sweep pass. The speed of sound. It's variable geometry wings that enable the Tomcat to maneuver throughout that envelope. At slow speeds, the wings move forward. At high speeds, they program aft. This next pass again demonstrates the various wing sweeps of the F-14. Van and Eat will enter a roll at 350 miles per hour with the wings at full sweep or 68 degrees. During the roll, Van will select the minimum wing sweep and the wings will move forward to the 20-degree position. Approaching from the right, Ben and E are configuring the Tomcat for a simulated approach to an aircraft carrier at 140 miles per hour. As the Tomcat draws close, notice that Ben has established himself on the same glide slope entry to a carrier with its tail hooked down. Once they reach center point, Ben will perform a simulated wave-off by selecting full afterburner and accelerating away from the crowd. Show center at 350 miles per hour to demonstrate the Tomcat's extremely tight turning radius. In this turn, the aircraft will press damage on the seas by force greater than 8 times the force of gravity. Even with the enormous size of the Tomcat, its turning radius is only 1,500 feet. This ability to outturn and outgun your opponent can determine the victor in air combat. Tomcat completes a turn, watches the air crew transition into the double emblem. The F-14 is now accelerating to near the speed of sound. As it passes by, the Tomcat will be traveling at over 700 miles per hour or 1,000 feet per second, a mere 1/3 of its maximum speed capability. Ladies and gentlemen, from the right, the Tomcat high-speed pass. Coming out of the descending turn from high up and to the left, the Tomcat's approaching for the pop-up tuck under brake. To slow the aircraft down from 600 miles per hour to a more comfortable 140 and give the crew time to set up for the landing configuration. Watch from the left as the Tomcat rolls right and turns left for the pop-up tuck under brake. Slowing down to 140 miles per hour. Listen closely and you may hear the precise power changes required in the simulated approach to an aircraft carrier. Naval aviators take flights aboard U.S. Navy aircraft carriers around the world, day and night in good weather or bad. The deck has 4 wires placed every 50 feet, any one of which the tailhook may engage. Immediately upon touchdown, the pilot adds full military power and through resting gear, not the wheel brakes to stop the aircraft. In the unlikely event of a bolter, if the hook should skip and miss all 4 wires, the crew takes off and go around for another try. The LSO has advised us that Ben and E will perform a touch-and-go at show center, followed by a dirty double emblem. This extremely difficult maneuver is only made possible by the power of the massive GE engines providing greater than a 1-to-1 thrust-to-weight ratio. The F-14 has played a vital role in the defense of our nation since its first flight over 55 years ago. Being the trademark of naval aviation, it has written a legacy into our red, white, and blue past. As the Tomcat repositions, get your screenshot buttons ready. Ban and E will approach from your left with the wings swept back for one final high-speed pass, immediately followed by a brake for landing. Ladies and gentlemen, stand up and make some noise for Ban and E in the United States Navy's F-14 Tomcat. With its air-to-air and its air-to-ground capabilities, the Tomcat quickly became the most versatile multi-mission fighter in the United States Navy. Its sophisticated weapon control systems can track 24 individual targets at ranges greater than 100 miles and launch guided missiles at any 6 of those targets simultaneously. Its variable geometry wing optimizes it at any airspeed and altitude, enabling it to outturn almost any frontline fighter in air-to-air combat. It has 4 different weapons: Phoenix, Sparrow, and Sidewinder missiles, plus a 20mm cannon with the rate of fire of over 6,000 rounds per minute. Utilizing tactics beginning in the Gulf War and with the addition of Lantern Laser Targeting Pod, the Tomcat is capable of carrying a wide array of air-to-ground ordnance, including conventional bombs, rockets, and cluster munitions. Avionics and flight control upgrades have made the Tomcat a viable warplane even 55 years after its first flight, with the first fleet squadrons deploying in 1974. Ladies and gentlemen, the virtual Roblox F-14 Tomcat demonstration team would like to thank you all for watching. We hope you've enjoyed this brief display of only a fraction of the F-14's full combat capability. If you have any screenshots from the show, please join us on Discord and show us what you all got. Looking forward to performing for you again.